that's not causing him to lose power because he is staying right with the group. All 4 of those cars jumping off the barn jump. Ambo's still holding on to that spot. You can see the gap to the front from Seafelt and Fitzgerald. They've literally checked out.
Yeah, those fellas are on another level right now. As Burns with the speed able to get by Ambo. So Colton Burns, the youngest driver in the field, up into the 3rd spot now. And there's that puff of smoke again. But like we said, even the opening rounds at Antigo, that 307 car was showing that little bit of smoke.
Yeah, they know that it's happening. They're just okay with it. So like you said, maybe the rings are going away a little bit. It's an older motor. There's a couple more puffs of smoke as he dips in and out of the throttle.
Wow, Springster almost put the bumper on Trellstad there. Springster on that blue and pink machine. It's a former light buggy champion. But up front, here's your battle for the lead. The teammates. Seafelt, yesterday's winner, and the defending champ, Fitzgerald. And that gap they've opened up, just unbelievable. A whole straightaway lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's unreal how these two can just get out front and never look back. They're fun to watch. I can guarantee you they're going to be mixing and battling back and forth here shortly as Fitz is now starting to button up on one of our veterans in the class. I remember watching Mike Seafelt back when I was a kid running against Brad Erickson, Todd Wallace, and a bunch of guys back from my hometown out here watching the races. So much fun as a kid growing up watching all these drivers progress.
Man, Fitzgerald is just right up to the back bumper of Seafelt now as they come through the cutoff corner. Running the super short track layout here at Crandon today. As you're all well aware, we're fighting that weather. Had some rain move through this morning. Track is coming in really well.
Yeah.
So tip of the cap to everybody here, Cliff and the gang.
Oh,
got a car. That's Gearhart facing the wrong direction there.
Oh, looks like Schultz having issues too on that bottom side. Got in that loamy soil and just took him right in as Seafelt opening that gap. Boy, Fitz lost a lot of ground.
Yeah, he had to check up for that car that was turned around there, so have to put his head down, go back to work. Still over 3.5 minutes left in this one. By the way, fastest lap of the race so far is by Connor Schultz. So you talked about the speed that he has. Definitely shows that speed all the time in light buggy. But they're getting that car figured out. He's going to be a threat to win here this season, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be a threat all year long. There's Bo Ambos now crossing what will be our finish line in that 388. Just trying to be patient, not overdriving the car. And you can't even say the track is muddy or slippery right now because they're definitely getting good bite.
Yeah, look at this battle. That's 4th through 8th on the racetrack. Ambos just showing the way around in that battle, but you got Trellstad, another driver who's won in 1600. Springster, like we said, he's a former light buggy champion. Connor Schultz has all kinds of wins and podium finishes in light buggy. It's a good, healthy race going on for all those positions.
Look at this on the outside. There goes Schultz. Gonna go the long way around, gonna make that pass stick, and you can just see the straightaway speed.
Yeah, he did a really nice job of keeping that momentum. Wow, they went 3 wide for a second. Looks like Ambos having some problems. He pulled off to the side, so tough break for Bo Ambos. You see Alcox up there in the mix as well.
Yeah, Alcox is all over the back door of Schultz. We'll see if he can make that run to make an opening.
Look at that, Brent. Our leader's now coming up on some lap traffic.
Wow, it's
Fitzgerald's going to go to the outside.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's going to go the long way around, and he pinned him down there.
Seafelt just had nowhere to go. That was just a nice veteran move by Fitzgerald.
Can you imagine under the helmet what Seafelt's saying right now? Oh, my gosh. He's like, I was just out front, just lap traffic costing me.
Man, what a tough way to lose the lead if you're Mike Seafelt, yesterday's winner.
He's reeling him back in, Shane.
Yeah, he's definitely got the speed. He'll dial it up, try to put the pressure back on Fitzgerald. There's more lap cars coming up too, so maybe an opportunity for Seafelt to pay it back here.
You wonder, I mean, being the same identical cars, you wonder how much they really share information, and if they're on the same gear ratio, the same motor program. I mean, both cars are really, really fast, but the reason why I say gears in that, Shane, or tire size in my head, because all of a sudden Seafelt, after the gravel pit, he'll reel them right back in, and then it looks like Fitz is a little bit quicker here.
Yeah, I'm sure they share a lot, but you can speak on this a little bit. You've raced against your twin brother, the person you're closest to in the entire world. you don't give him all your secrets. You keep a little bit in the back pocket.
Right, and especially being a twin, you're trying to think opposite because you know he's going to think the identical way you do. So I can't imagine being teammates. Obviously, they love one another. They're good friends, but they want to win. Like you said, it don't matter if it's your brother, your cousin, or your best friend. Look at that, driving across the center of the corner.
Ooh, Seefeld, if he wanted to play physical there, he had the opportunity. He could have just moved Fitzgerald just gently up the track a little bit, but he thought better of it.
He's going to have a couple more shots at this, and this is where Seefeld is a little quicker in this section here. Right after we go off that barn jump, you will see Seefeld go a little bit wider, trying to get that grip. He's running out of time, Shane.
Yeah, they'll be coming to the white flag the next time they go past the finish line. Seefeld just trying to get the power down and get back to the bumper of Fitzgerald. He does have the speed, especially on the interior portion of the track. The longer straightaways, they're about evenly matched, but I think Seefeld is quicker through the tighter corners.
Yeah, Seefeld's going to drive to that bottom. He just has no grip on the exit. That 312 ride going to try to hunt him down one final time because we're on the final lap.
They'll come back in front of the loyal crowd here at Crandon International Raceway, who's sat through a couple rain showers this morning. Surprised the crowd hasn't thinned out one bit, even after Pro 4 going to the buggies.
Yeah, these are true off-road fans here at Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. 1600 single buggy out on the track right now. We're on the final lap if you're just tuning in to Flow.
All right, so Seefeld gave up a little bit of ground, and I saw a puff of smoke out of Seefeld, or maybe, yeah, it's smoke out the back there, so.
That's this part of the track where Seefeld looked quicker.
Yeah, I think his car is just going away a little bit. One more time around the lap car here. Seefeld's going to make it close, but not enough time and not enough space on the racetrack. John Fitzgerald takes the win in round 4. Pretty darn good weekend for Seefeld. First yesterday, second today, and you see him giving thumbs up. And
yeah, he's
here,
happy.
number 1. Yeah, like we said, those two guys, teammates, they're so happy to be driving for Bruce Fraley. And
two great individual race car drivers, though nice people too. If you want to go up to them and talk to them, they'll sign your shirt. They'll do anything. They're really, really great and open about what they love to do, and we love this sport to death. Why wouldn't you want to go and chit-chat with somebody at that level?
Right, they're the type of people that I don't know if I've ever seen either one at the racetrack without a smile on their face. But I guess when you're finishing 1-2 with your teammate, gives you a lot to smile about. You see Burns did hold on for that third spot. Trelstad, Alcox rounding out the top 5. Mottinger, that's a good run for him. He started in 12th. Winds up 6th here unofficially in 1600 buggy. We'll take a short break. More racing to come when we come back. Sportsman Side by Side coming up next here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We changed the industry by formulating the first API-qualified 100% synthetic motor oil. The rest of the market has been trying to follow our lead ever since. But a head start is a head start. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond. Because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
done. Kyle Cheney and Cody Miller are off the line as well.
Kyle Cheney, last year's champion here, is pushing really strong.
Kyle Cheney in the 191 as he works his way through. Now,
it's your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper!
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We changed the industry by formulating the first API-qualified 100% synthetic motor oil. The rest of the market has been trying to follow our lead ever since. But a head start is a head start. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond. Because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
'30th Forest County Potawatomi Brush Run. We are AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Sportsman Side-by-Side coming up next. Lucas Houle and Ben Heiting will start on row number 1. Heiting was yesterday's winner, his second win in a row in Sportsman Side-by-Side. Houle was the runner-up. In row number 2, it's Bryce Carlson and Trent Peets, then Braden Kearns, Eric Hill, Joel Steinbrecher, Caden Piatek, Tyler Wusterbarth. Ben Berger starts 10th. Then it's Paige Rahanowitz, Jacob Blemke, Sam Brzee, Daryl Sundin, Marcia Jones, Caleb Griesbach, Ian Drew, Danielle Reeves, Nick Reedy, and Josh Lockstein starts 20th. Then Zach Rahanowitz, Carter Nordrum, Tanner Eklund, Kristen Sachansky, Caitlin Anderson, and Lucas Sargent will start in the back. 26 cars about to race on this tight layout here on a rainy Sunday at Crandon International Raceway, and off we go in Sportsman Side-by-Side.
Off we go is right. There goes Benjamin Heiting, not wasting any time in the race-driven Polaris ride. Remember, round 3 winner, round 2 winner at Anago, so he's looking for a three-peat here in AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
Lucas Houle in that number 28 Speedworks machine, though, he looked to be the fastest car on the track yesterday. Just had that one mistake. He admitted on the podium, he said, I slowed down too early coming to the a local yellow. That let Heiting get by. In the moment, it looked like Heiting maybe was a little bit too fast into that local yellow yesterday.
Looks like the 32 car.
Marcia Jones.
Down. Yeah, Jones on his side, on the driver's side. Their safety crew getting on top of that right away. But, man, just get a glimpse of Ben Heiting just checking out early.
Yeah, hopefully Marcia Jones is all right. She'll be able to continue on in this one. So you look back up front, the battle for second, third, and fourth on the racetrack behind Heiting. You've got Houle, you've got Carlson at the tail end of that group. I believe the 05 of Trent Peets sandwiched in the middle.
There's Carlson now. Bryce Carlson finished runner-up in round 3, trying to look for another podium. As you can see, Jones still getting help to get out of the gravel pit. Man, what a shakeup this year coming in. We have new faces running up in the top 3, 4. It's so cool to see how the class has grown and the talent level has just gone over the top. We had a chance to talk to Benjamin Heiting last night, and he was just smiling ear to ear. He's so happy. He
why
just
wouldn't you
loves
be?
it,
Yeah, 2
right?
wins in a row.
And I said, man, I'm proud of you. You've come a long way in a short period of time. And his father owns Race Driven back up in Escanaba, so they're always working with new development, new cars, and he's going to put his son in the best equipment he possibly can, as well as Bryce Carlson. He's his teammate.
Yeah, Carlson's still stuck back there in fourth, trying to work his way around Trent Peets. As they come through the gravel pit, now they got the 32 of Marcia Jones out of the way there, and I believe she is off to the side, missing a wheel there as the 32 of Marcia Jones. So tough way to end her day in the second corner of the race.
Boy, the track doesn't even look like it's rained out here now. It's in great shape. There's the race-driven ride of Ben Heiting, clicking off another lap early in this Sportsman side-by-side division.
Yeah, the track is coming in really nicely, and I don't know what the latest weather update is, but I'm thinking of the other W word that maybe the drivers don't want to hear. We might see water trucks come out by the end of the day.
Yeah, you might be right. I'll tell you, this front looks really, really nice. We're starting to see that blue groove. We didn't even see blue groove in round 3 here. The track has just been in prime shape. As Ben will probably tell you the same thing going in that gravel pit. Just easing in that throttle, trying to keep that car straight in that 09.
Yeah, a lot of the top points finishers from last year really haven't shown up as much early on in the 2023 season. Thinking about guys like Jacob Lemke, last year's points champion. He had a tremendously consistent season last year, won the championship without winning a race. Haven't seen much of him. Sam Brzee having a tough go of it this year. Riley Marquardt out for the season with a shoulder injury that he suffered at work. So a lot of drivers not off to a great start. There you see the 08 of Lemke with the red plate on that car. He's currently running in the 5th spot, so it's a step forward for him. I'll tell you what, if Heiting is going to keep winning these races, some of these drivers are going to have to pick up the pace and do it in a hurry.
Yeah, because the closer we get, he's getting closer to his hometown track, Bark Rivers, so he's really familiar with that place, but he's really focused, Ben, so you can't take nothing away from the kid. He's really driving clean and smart as we look back into the field once again.
Yeah, Blemke has his hands full right now with the 11 of Braden Kearns. That's Colin Kearns' younger brother. Of course, Colin 2 years ago was the Sportsman side-by-side champ. 1 year ago was Pro-Am side-by-side champ. We'll see him a little bit later on in Pro Stock side-by-side. This is Braden's rookie year.
Wow.
Obviously, a lot of knowledge on the team there, and certainly getting some driving pointers from his brother, though.
Yeah, he has some great teachers behind him. He knows how to drive that car early, and to be a rookie, he's just trying to learn as much as he can, and you're following last year's points champion, so you're going to learn a lot in a short period of time. Looks like Hool's pulling off.
Yeah, Hool definitely off the pace. Maybe the car is in limp mode, so hard to say what's going on there. Actually, that's the 51. Sorry, the other Speedworks car of Nick Reedy.
Wow, they look so identical on our cameras. Hard to tell who is who going back in the gravel pit.
Yeah, Hool still running perfectly strong in second place, trying to run down our leader, Ben Heiting. That battle between Blemke and Kearns rages on as they go over the Polaris jump.
Track still in prime shape, heading into Calamity Corner one more time. Blemke still holding on to that position with under 4 to go in this race. A lot more racing action to come throughout today. Super stock truck coming up next. One of our favorite classes.
Yeah, surprisingly a non-dramatic race yesterday in super stock, but I suspect we'll see a little bit more drama here in a few moments. But like you said, still over 3 minutes left to go here in Sportsman side-by-side.
Starting to see some good air time off of these jumps. And look at how packed in that track is. Great job by Cliff Flannery and the guys. I mean, if you weren't here early on, it poured. The rain came down and it soaked this track. There was mud holes everywhere, and they just did what they needed to do for about an hour, and they rolled this track in, and you can see how great a shape it's in. These super stock truck guys, you wonder what they did with that tire war. I mean, did you go with an all-terrain now? They might be switching yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking they waited as long as possible to drive down into staging.
Everyone pretty
This is an all-terrain track right now at this point. I mean, you see the race line, there's some room to pass. It's not just one-line racing.
Yeah, it's starting to widen out for sure.
Like I said, almost on the verge of seeing some dust. We are seeing a little bit of blue groove as well. We're always surprised here at Crandon how well, you know, we talked about this during one of the commercial breaks. There's like 8 feet of clay on this track. It's not just a layer of clay on top of dirt. They haul in so much screened clay to surface this racetrack, like thousands and thousands of yards of clay before every race weekend. You could put a lot of water into this clay here at Crandon. As we look up front, 2 minutes to go now for the kid from Escanaba, Michigan, Ben Heiting.
Yeah, Ben looking for the sweep on the weekend, the three-peat, trying to get it done. He's looking good, Shane. He's all by himself. Jake Kosmecki's on his headset helping him, and we talked to Brian Heiding, his father. He told me, he's like, Brent, the best thing we could have done is get me off the radio. He said, I cannot be on the radio with my kid because I'm just yelling at him, telling him what I think I should do and he should do. And he's like, ever since Jake got on, the kid's really, really fast and smooth.
Yeah, all the pieces coming into place for the 09 of Heiding. Lucas Houle still running in that second spot, a little bit back of Heiding. You see Heiding going into Calamity Corner, completing another lap here at Crandon.
Clock still winding down. Remember when it gets to 0.
Actually, Peets has gotten around Lucas Houle, so Trent Peets now up into the second spot in the 05 as they come back onto the front straightaway.
Boy, Pete's really turning it on in this second half of this race.
There's a good look at the 05. You see Houle now back in that third spot. You still got Bryce Carlson, Heiding's teammate, running in the fourth spot.
Yeah, you wonder if Carlson can reel in Houle to take that final podium spot. He's going to want to be on top of that box with his teammate if he can get the job done. About a half a minute to go in this one. You can see the gap right in front of you.
There's that car that's a lap down, the 51 of Reedy, running off the pace. And this is getting really close here, Brent. I'm not sure if Heiding's car is going away a little bit, but Peets is closing this interval big time on Benjamin Heiding.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of time. Peets is really reeling him in. What's the lap times?
Peets was 1.5 seconds faster on that previous lap than Heiding, so something might be going wrong for our leader here on the final lap.
Yeah, you wonder maybe he just got comfortable as well, and I think Jake's probably on his headset saying, hey, you better turn it up a notch if you're laying back a little, because Peets is on his way to try to reel him in.
Well, we'll find out if Peets, who has the fastest lap of the entire race now, has enough time. 2 corners to go. You know Peets is going to be laying it down, trying to shrink that interval a little bit more.
Look at that nice run he got out of the gravel pit. Peets is going to run an opposite line that Benjamin Heiding is running. Look at that. I thought he was going to try to drive down to the bottom early.
Yeah, not enough time for Peets. Ben Heiding wins. Oh, white flag is out. Our mistake.
One more
so
lap
there's
to
time,
go.
and that's new life for Peets here. Let's see if he can make it happen. I thought the race clock had run out before they made it to the line the previous time. He must have just beat it to the zeros there.
Yeah, that clock was really, really close. It was up to race officials when they wanted to give that white flag, but Ben Heiding holding on to about an 8-9 car length gap, trying to sweep the weekend here at Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. He's like, Brent, I never even got a podium here. Like, I don't ever do good at Crandon.
Yeah, it was his first podium at Crandon, racing across 4 different classes now, counting sportsman side-by-side, and he was finally able to land on top of the box yesterday in round 3. Peets with one last chance. It's going to take a mistake from Heiding, though, in Calamity Corner.
Yeah, he's going to be really careful here. He'll tiptoe his way through and not give up that bottom. Benjamin Heiding's going to sweep the weekend here in the race-driven Polaris. We'll have to see how it shakes up behind him. 3
wins in a row for Ben Heiding. Took second place in round 1 and then 3 straight wins. He's the points leader as we reach the 1/3 mark of our sportsman season. Excellent late charge there by Trent Peets to come across the line in second. Carlson, Heiding's teammate, finishes in 3rd. Lucas Houle, another good weekend for him as well, in 4th. And the defending champ, Jacob Blemke, finishes in the top 5.
What a race. This has all been really competitive throughout this morning's races when the track has been changing. Look at these cars all hooked up.
Yeah,
in the
got a little
gravel
tangle
pit.
there. There's 3 cars, I think, that are all stuck together, kind of in one big triangle. I see the 31. That's Zach Rahanowitz. 71 of Josh Lockstein involved as well. They're very hooked up. That's going to take a little bit of time to get unhooked, so we'll step aside for a quick break and catch our breath here at Crandon. Stay with us. This is AMSOIL Championship Off-Road presented by the U.S. Air Force. Welcome back to Crandon International Raceway, round 4 of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force. And while we wait for Super Stock Truck to hit the track, we're going to go down to Haley Shanley with our U.S. Air Force Hot Pit Challenge. Haley?
Thanks, guys. We're just behind the grass seating area over by the merchandise booth, and I have Dan here who's going to try his hand at the U.S. Air Force Hot Pit Tire Challenge, and behind us here is a replica race steed for Kyle Cheney and Shearing Speed Sports, of course backed by the U.S. Air Force. So Dan, where are you from?
I'm from Pulaski, Wisconsin.
Pulaski, Wisconsin. Are you enjoying the races so far today?
Join it every day.
Every day. Are you a first-timer to Crandon?
I used to come here when I was a little kid, and it's been the first time since a while.
Well, welcome back. We're glad to have her. Are you ready?
I am as ready as I can be.
Let's do this. I'll count you down. I'm going to start my timer. So Dan, grab the tool, and what he's going to do is take this tire off and remount it, and we'll see if he can set quick time. So on your mark, get set, go. Oh, a slight mechanical with the impact, but no harm, no foul. He's going to get these bolts removed in the tire. Now this is key, has to touch the ground. And he's going to replace. We actually have a spare tire on set. So here we go, time to remount. It's the bolts in place. Just past 22 seconds, so we're still on track for a possible quick time. There we go, final step. And it's down. Congratulations, 31.36 is the time.
Awesome.
Not officially quick time, but that's okay. Still very quick time. So he's going to be taking home a prize courtesy of the AMSOIL Championship Off-Road in the U.S. Air Force. So Dan, thank you so much for playing.
Thank you so much.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. This is the U.S. Air Force Hot Pit Tire Challenge. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Haley. That had to be so much fun. That's so cool. It reminds me of Shane and I when we used to do the Hot Pit Challenge down at the parade in Crandon. So cool. He gets a nice flag, and look at what's coming up next. Super Stock Truck. But before we do that, we want to thank Forest County Potawatomi once again for everything they've done this weekend and throughout the years being partnered with the Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. We're going to step aside here for a few moments, and we'll be back with Super Stock Truck. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
It's your Uncle Cooper. If you and your truck are constantly tackling the regular duties of the day, go with a tire that can handle them all. Oh, man. I stepped in it. Go with the Coopers.
Welcome back to Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. Super Stock Truck is on the line. They're going to be 2x2. A lot of great drivers in this one this afternoon. Some drivers not in their regular truck because of failure in round 3. Braden Beauchamp will be piloting a stock truck this afternoon. Piat is going to let him drive his truck to gain as many points as possible. So Braden Beauchamp, round 2 winner at Antigo, Wisconsin, definitely had a tough break in round number 3. As we look at the front row, that normally is Ben Holger on the starting line, but today it'll be Corey Holger. And boy, Shane, we've seen Corey Holger take off his first time in Super Stock Truck and just lay it to the field. I mean, he said, boy, the shocks worked awesome, and that thing really rips.
Yeah, what a story yesterday. Not only the speed that he showed, but that was his first time racing that truck, and to go out and just beat everybody else in Super Stock, unbelievable.
Yeah, that was so awesome to see, and I want to see that come out of the stock truck division. And I remember talking to Corey Holger at the banquet a couple years back, and he's like, I want to get in a stock truck, and that was only 2-3 years ago, and look at how far he's come, and I can guarantee you he's going to be thinking about getting that truck. So the ChristianCarsOnline.com, Pace Truck, Richie Kuloff, going to bring them in front of the crowd. Normally, we start on a land rush start. Everyone would be lined up one by one, but today, because of the weather, Mother Nature, we have to do things a little different.
Yeah, I will say one thing though, Brent, as I'm checking my wristwatch here, we're back on schedule. So we started a little over an hour late this morning. So again, tip of the cap. And part of that, you know, unfortunately, we had to cut podium interviews for the sportsman drivers, and certainly we wish we could have given them, you know, their moment in the spotlight for all the effort they put in. But to get back on schedule and turn this track around, you know, sometimes you have to call an audible and switch things up a little bit. Obviously running the super short layout, but the hard work has paid off and racing is happening. And right now the weather's holding out for us too. So turned into a pretty nice day. And like I said, the way it's gone, I wouldn't be all that surprised to see water trucks on the track a little bit later on.
Yeah, I believe we might, because you can see some water on our cameras, but we don't use that section very much. That's just where the trucks and cars go to the starting gate. And you'll see later on, if we can get this track to come in for that cup race later, you're going to see these high horsepower trucks digging and getting a lot faster.
It looks like we're still on pause here, as those two cars that we talked about before we went to break still stuck together. They are locked. Yeah, they're locked up pretty good. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and unfortunately for those two teams, maybe a sawzall or a tool set to get those cars unhooked.
Yeah, it's been some time, so definitely wrapped up.
Well, while we wait for super stock trucks to be cut loose after the track is all clear, don't forget, we invite you to participate in our AMSOIL watch party. Wherever you're watching, whether that's on FloRacing somewhere on the planet Earth or here in Crandon, Wisconsin, take a picture of you and your family and friends enjoying some great Champ Off-Road racing. Post it on social media, tag Champ Off-Road in the post, and use the hashtag AMSOIL watch party. And we might just show your beautiful faces on our live stream. Of course, our thoughts all season long are with our good friend Kyle LeDuc, dealing with stage 4 cancer, going through some really aggressive treatments. Unfortunately, he's basically stuck at home, unable to even come to the racetrack and visit. We miss him being here, but you can support Kyle LeDuc's efforts at beating cancer by stopping at the Champ merch trailer. Pick up a sticker. They cost $5. You see what the sticker looks like right there. If you've been walking the pits, you've seen a lot of those stickers on race cars all over everybody, including the Greaves trucks had those stickers on there, and Kyle posted that it was heartwarming to see that even his closest competitors, his biggest rivals, were supporting his efforts. Once again, big thanks to the Forest County Potawatomi community. This is the 30th running of the Forest County Potawatomi Brush Run here at Crandon. They put in $23,500 extra purse money across all classes here for round number 4, and of course put up the purse for the Forest County Potawatomi Cup race that we're going to see as the grand finale here at the Forest County Potawatomi Brush Run. Like I mentioned to Brent just a few moments ago, you cannot, you know, this is an iconic facility, an iconic place where legends are made here at Crandon, but you could not possibly tell the story of Crandon without the Forest County Potawatomi community playing a huge role in that. So thanks to them for all their support over the years. Couldn't have done it without them. Well, we'll step aside for another brief moment. Super stock truck just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We are AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Check it out.
Imagine how much Mountain Dew is in there.
We should probably drink these fast. To the two.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound, group up.
At 10-4.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good, little driver, straight on through.
None of us can see the future.
But we reach towards it anyway.
We might doubt whether we're good enough.
Or brave enough.
Or question whether we belong.
But there's a place between now and the future where you realize you've always belonged.
It's up here.
Join us.
Rise above.
Here at Champ Off-Road, it's always a party, and we want to see how you're enjoying the party. Take a picture of you and your crew, whether you're watching online around the globe on FloRacing or you're watching from right here in the grandstands. Take a picture, show us how you're watching, who you're watching with, and who you're cheering for. Post it on social media using the hashtag AMSOIL Watch Party, and be sure to tag Champ Off-Road. We'll get you featured on the live stream all season long. This is the AMSOIL Watch Party.
Welcome back to Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. Super Stock Truck is coming up next. They're going to start 2x2. Once again, I'm Brent Smith alongside Shane Stetsny. There is your front row. Nick Bing, Corey Holger going to lead them to the green flag.
And we're going to get right into it here. You see some of the other heavy hitters starting near the front. Joe Machosik, Scott Belanger. You see Braden Boshaw out there in that Brian Piat truck. Like you said, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace he can run, how many points he can pick up. Kleikamp starting mid-pack as well as we're underway. And Corey Holger, another great jump on this start.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time taking off right away, Shane, and that's what he needs to do. This track is really, really nice.
Yeah, really good dry race line here for this one. See Belanger trying to keep the pace early on with Corey Holger. Machosik giving a little love to Bing as they went down into the gravel pit.
Yeah, contact is normal here in Super Stock Truck, but we did get through a whole race with no yellow flags.
Yeah, almost unbelievable that you'd see that in Super Stock. Look at that. Look who's in 5th place right now. Braden Bosch out there, a little bit underpowered, running a used-up stock truck after the race we saw early this morning.
Hey, and that's what he's out here for. He wants to get as many points as possible. They had some engine failure. Just something went wrong, and they'll be back with a fresh power plant for ERX Motor Park.
Yeah, there you see the 820, familiar-looking truck because you saw it a couple hours ago in stock truck. How cool is that, too? I mean, just friends at the track. They're not really affiliated as teammates or anything. They just hang out. They help each other out a little bit. And Piot knew. I mean, Braden was going around last night just looking for anybody. Went by Joey Machosik, said, we got a spare motor, but it's already spoken for. Otherwise, I'd be happy to put it in your truck. I mean, that's one of his rivals that offered up a motor if he hadn't already given it to somebody else. So
yeah, Joey, he honestly told both of us, he's like, yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, yeah, I don't want to see Braden not have the best of the best, so I want to beat him.
Well, knowing that the friendship is there between Belanger and Piot, who are teammates, and the Beauchamps, like I told you when we were on break, I'm confident that Piot and Belanger, when they said, go ahead, Braden, drive the truck, they didn't tell him to take it easy. They said, go out there and drive that truck like a race car.
Yeah, and that's what he needed to do, and that's so cool. And the friendship that they have and just the trust they have in each other's teams. And that is one thing to race against someone, but hey, you can lend my truck when I'm done with it.
Well, this battle for third staying really hot between the 2021 champion Joe Machosik and Nick Bing, who's also a past champion here in Super Stock Truck. Machosik just staying right on the back bumper of Bing as they come out of the gravel pit.
Yeah, Joey's always fast in that 851. He usually gets faster and faster throughout the race. He's really a patient, calm, cool, and collected driver as they click off another lap here at Crandon. And would you have thought that this track would look this great?
I mean, you see the dust hanging in the air. Just a couple hours ago, you'd have never thought that that would be possible given what we've seen. But like we've talked about, this clay is so deep here at Crandon. It can absorb a lot of water and still stay race worthy, as we're seeing here in round 4. You see some blue groove up at the top of turn 2 as well. Holger is starting to run away with this one again, as we're going to have a local yellow in the gravel pit. Looks like Mike Fillion in the number 886 is come to a stop out in the soft stuff. Everybody's going to go by single file there. Looks like Fillion able to get that truck back underway and off the racing surface.
Wow, our leader's just pulling away a little by a little, lap after lap. There's Corey Holger. You can imagine putting down in the win column 2 races, but not only just 2 wins. If he can get it done, that'd be the first time in Super Stock Truck to win back-to-back.
You think that's going to give him the itch to move up? I mean, he was a champion. He won 6 out of 12 races last year in his stock truck. Having a good season there as well.
Or maybe after he wins too, he's going to be like, all right, I conquered the Super Stock Truck class, let's go up.
Well, that's a conversation they'll be able to have after this weekend if he can stay out front here. And Belanger having a really strong weekend as well. He was 3rd yesterday. Belanger kind of coming into his own at these higher speed tracks.
Wow, Joey Machosik, I'm looking at that left front, or that actually the right front. It looks like it's got major camber on it.
Yeah, we'll try to get another good look.
I don't know, that truck normally doesn't sit like that in that front end. I don't know, we'll have to babysit that front.
Yeah, hard to say. Maybe, if anything, I see the wheel moving a little bit more than you'd expect, so maybe a shock issue on that right front corner. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely not slowing him down, at least not in any significant ways. He's still hounding Nick Bing as they go through turn 2 and up toward the skyboxes. They almost make contact in that no-touch zone.
Yeah, what a run that Joey Machosik is getting. He's going to try to go the long way around. Watch, he's going to try to grab that cushion.
Man, that's a tough pass to make. You see they trade a little fiberglass.
He knew he was going down to that bottom side. Bing's like, not right now, buddy.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe just a shock issue on that right front. I watched him land on the Polaris jump, talking about Joe Machosik. Just seems extra soft on that right front corner.
Yeah, all suspension. I mean, it depends on how much nitrogen you put in the shocks, and if you do put in nitrogen as well as tire combination, and just get the truck to work is one thing. And this class has come such a long, long way. as Braden Boshaw still holding on to his own.
Well, now Bing starting to run away just a little bit from Machosic. That blue groove is expanding every lap around the track here as they go to turn 2. There's definitely something going on with that right front. It is looking very soft. I'm thinking just maybe a shock fade issue, maybe a seal or something going bad in that right front shock.
Boy, Bing makes a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, you're right. We keep looking at that front end, and it's hard to see. You just don't want it to snap off when you land off of one of those jumps.
Well, I'm sure he's feeling it in his arms every time he lands. And that number 851, still trying to keep up with Bing.
Yeah, about 2.5 minutes to go. Looks like Belanger might be creeping up on our leader. There they are on camera.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Brett. Belanger just closed that gap big time, and he has the fastest lap of the race. He was 7/10 faster than Corey Holcher the previous time around.
Wow, are these two trucks just flying? What a hard hit to the front end of Belanger. You see that?
Belanger, that's another guy that's got to be careful with those landings.
Yeah, he's a dirt track racer. He knows how to throw it in. He don't care. He'll run that thing until she's all out. Wow.
Look at that.
Oh, I think something might be broken that right front, too. It's binding so hard.
Yeah, those shocks are, they got all they can handle here on this rough track at Crandon. I mean, he's definitely got the speed. He's able to get the power down. It doesn't look like it's caused him any control issues. Look at him just run right up to the cushion there in the cutoff corner.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
You think that dirt track background comes in handy a little bit? A left-hand banked corner with a cushion up on top? Feels right at home.
Yeah, I'm sure they set up a little bit of a different setup on the front of his truck, what he likes on a dirt car, because there's a lot of left-handers here. As Holger's still holding on to that lead going into the gravel pit. That is Corey Holger. That truck has been through a war at Anago, and now he's getting more company. Second place is starting to reel him in.
Yeah, but you saw Belanger checked up a little bit, partially not to run into the back bumper of Holcher, but I think he's starting to get a little bit more conservative over these big jumps, because that many impacts that hard, that truck's not going to hold up till the end of this one.
Yeah, there's something definitely going wrong with the right front of that truck, because that normally doesn't land that hard, and that's what he's doing. He's checking up so he doesn't snap it off, but it's definitely quick enough.
I'm thinking that it's probably just, shock is just worn out. You land really hard on the right front off the skybox jump, so after 5-6 laps of that shock can only take so many hard impacts. Man, he is still right there in the rearview mirror of Corey Holcher. You see lap traffic lies ahead.
Wow, look at Belanger going the long way around. He's going to make the pass stick on Holger.
What a move by Scott Belanger here. It's the race clock about to hit 0. We'll see if the white flag comes out or if it's 2 to go this time by. Green flag is going to stay out, so 2 laps to go here for Scott Belanger. Now we'll see if Corey Holcher can get that spot back. There's still time.
That lap traffic might play a factor here. Who can get by him the quickest? He gets out of the way playing good sportsmanship. Oh, hits Holger on the way through. Oh,
he's got to gather it back up. That is big trouble there.
It costed him.
Well, he's able to get back underway. Now Bing is going to have a run on Holger.
Holger's going to gather it up. Definitely a lot of damage to the right side. Belanger now opening up that gap. He has time. He can slow down a little bit now.
Unbelievable. That's really the first bad luck Corey Holcher has had in his first 2 races in super stock truck. You see Belanger just working that steering wheel. The Yokohama tires digging for some traction around this racetrack. White flag will be out this time for Scott Belanger. There is Bing trying to run down Corey Holcher.
Both of them bonsaiing off of those jumps. Bing having some issues rotating that truck in. There's a white flag, so 1 more lap for all of these top 3 trucks. Belanger, he's going to be happy if he can finish this thing.
Yeah, Belanger comfortably out front as they go past the crowd here at Crandon one last time. Now Bing falling back a little bit from the bumper of Corey Holcher. I think these trucks, after the second day of racing, limited suspension, 4,000-pound trucks, they're pretty well used up here for the entire super stock field.
Yeah, Ben Holger trying to negotiate that turn 1 final time. Belanger well out in front on this last lap. There's Belanger. We're going to ride above him with one turn to go, and he's going to get the job done once again. He's going to pick up a big win in Super Stock Truck.
Great drive by Belanger out of Luxembourg, Wisconsin. Your round 4 Super Stock Truck winner. Corey Holcher, though, story of the weekend for sure. Finishes first yesterday, second today in the 844, filling in for Ben Holcher. Another good, consistent podium finish for the 833 and Nick Bing as well. I'm seeing some steam out of the back of Belanger, too, so his truck was all the way used up. As you see the 877 Ron Cosiza trying to finish this race on a shredded right front tire.
Well, we can tell the track dried up. Tires are starting to come apart. Looks like Kenny Wilson trying to get around on the inside for that final spot.
Oh, and Braden Beauchamp, he's going to finish the race. Picked up some valuable points. He was running really strong for being in a stock truck and being, you know, severely underpowered. A little bit less suspension in a stock truck compared to a super stock, but pretty good showing today, this afternoon, for Belanger and Piot, the teammates. Piot's truck out there being driven by Braden Beauchamp, and Belanger takes the big win over Corey Holcher and Nick Bing. We'll step aside for a moment, hear from Crandon. Thanks for hanging out with us. A lot more yet to come. We are AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We changed the industry by formulating the first in our world-class laboratories and beyond. Because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.